Hey guys, welcome to the fourth episode of Sailing with the Dock Rats voyage across the Pacific to Hawaii. I think this will be it, and this is the best episode. Once I got out into the trade winds, there really was no swell. The wind waves would get a little ruckus here and again, but I was getting 17, 22 knots of wind all the way, and at night I got some really awesome gusts. So as far as you know what it was like out there, this is probably going to be the best episode. Enjoy. Let's check it out. It was going today, man. But 70% with my second reef. It's a beam reached in order to go there at this point. And the wind and waves are still headed south. They're starting to turn, but I'm going over the top of them. And it got going. It was gusting up to 25, and I had to let the mainsail out. It was in the deep reef already. It had, but I wanted the power to get over the waves because we were getting pretty good sized wind waves. So it's all backing off now though. Whew! That was fun. Here's day 18 at 4:20. It's had a chance to work itself up for a while. There'll get to be some long rollers. This will go on till late at night, man. I got my deep reef. I'm in the second reef, and I have my storm jib on, and I'm just powering through it. Very smooth. Not getting banged around really at all. It's nice. Here we go. These are the hash browns out of the little box. They're awesome. You just put warm water in them, let them sit for 15 minutes, and then cook them up. And then check out these powdered scrambled eggs. I'm cooking up equivalent of 2 eggs here. Fucking nice, huh? Perfect one. There's a half an egg on the floor. Beautiful. It's fucking smoking. Turn it down. Now I got that. Here we have a major chinkaza going on. We'll get it in there. Fucking egg. Fuck! Get off. So there's the pretty common occurrence. Cooking, you gotta lean it against the fiddle rail because when the boat's rocking, it'll slide it right off. And it did, of course. In the third reef. This is third reef in the storm sail. I'm still making 5-6 knots. The boat's pretty calm. If it gets any worse, then I hope to, and that's easy. Just hang out for a while. But this isn't too bad, and it should be abating. I mean, for what it is, just some big wind waves, really. So I put in the third reef. I started getting gusts of probably 35. The auto helm couldn't hold it, so I put in the third reef. Got the storm sail on, and I pointed it farther downwind. So that we're kind of going with it now. As it dies out, I'll point back up. But I'm still making a lot of westerly progress, even though I'm headed down a little bit. And it's a way, as soon as I did that, the whole thing calmed out. So, woo! Yeah, baby. Trade wind's gone mad. Okay, so here we are on day 19. It really got going yesterday. I got down into my storm jib with my third reef on the mainsail and was just flying along. I'm getting ready to tally up the miles right now, but it's going to be very close to 90, maybe even 100. Went all night long on the storm setup, and man, I got enough wind. I'm doing 4 or 5 knots already, so I'm just leaving it. And it's going to be this for a while. I might get blown into Hawaii into this config, which is fine. It's a super soft ride. There's a lot of wind, but it's not a lot of pressure because I don't have a lot of sails up. I'm way upright, really not heeled over at all. I get a little bit more roll because there is not very much to sustain it. I could be going a lot faster right now, but I'm not racing. I want my coffee, man. Almost 3 weeks now, and I feel great. It's been awesome. I don't mind being alone. I just don't mind it at all. I thought I would do a bunch of projects while I was out here, but at first my back was tender, so I just started laying around, and now I can't quit laying around. But what a better place to do it. Just breathe deep. You know, we work so hard all the time, so constantly in motion, that it's like, to be able to do something like this and just take 3 weeks, it'd be like, eat. It's pretty nice. Booming all day, all day. I did not take it out of the third reef, and I have the storm jib on, and I'm averaging 4 knots, which is, it's perfect. It's a pretty smooth ride. There's roll because of these. At this time of the day, the wind waves get big, but that'll calm down here. Usually about 10:30 it calms down, but the wind doesn't. It goes till about 1:30, 2 o'clock, and then I fall asleep. But I've been waking up down the road, no problems, 3-4 hours later. My alarm doesn't work anymore because it's so loud from all the noises in the boat that it, you know, the alarm just can't compete. But I haven't seen a boat in fucking days, and usually once an hour I get up and look around. That's how it's been going. Been keeping up on my chores. The dishes are all done. I've been cooking. Just made some cookies. And doing the dishes. Whatever I need to do on the boat. But any kind of little crazy projects like doing some oil or that kind of thing, just too much action, too much rolling around. So, but I am now getting there. The first couple weeks was tough because I had to go down the coast and it would be several hours of good wind, and I didn't use the motor, so I would flog around half the night, barely go anywhere. I was getting 45-mile days and stuff. Now it's like 95-mile days. Right at 4 knots average. So yeah, and this is the long leg of the journey. I'm coming close to halfway overall, but you have to go south a ways. So accounting for that, probably 5 or 6 days out of being, you know, halfway in the middle of the ocean type of thing. Everything's going good. I'm not worried about any mechanical. There's really not a lot of pressure, although the wind is good. I have the sails set correctly. I hardly heel over. I heel with the, you know, really it's a what's called a pumping action. When the wave comes and brings the boat over, and then it comes back, the main grabs that wind and propels the boat forward. So it's not a bad thing. And then the main it'll go over that way, but then come back nice and slow. Or when it does come back, it'll come back to level, and then it won't, because of the when you're going that way, it doesn't go like that too much. That's kind of the trick, is to you want a smooth ride. You can't be like constantly against the pressure unless you're racing and you have crew and you can be paying attention. But when you have to be available, you can't put so much pressure on. And it makes me paranoid out here to put that kind of pressure on the boat and break the boat out in the middle of nowhere, because there's not going to be any problem. A freighter will come along and pick you up within hours. Within a day, a freighter would be here. You're sitting on a broken boat. I'd put down a basket. I'd jump in the basket and leave everything I own behind. So, keep the boat together. That's the best thing. Beautiful, guys. So here I am on the 22nd day, coming into the 4th week. It's definitely blowing. I had to I get pulled up into the wind this morning, and I took down the jib and just went with the main. And then I got pulled up into the wind again, and I changed, and now I'm just with the jib. And there it is. That's a 30% storm jib. It's not a storm, but it's rocking and rolling, man. It is blowing. It's definitely more than the 17 that they're talking about. It's all right. I'm going 4 knots with the storm jib up. It's just a gentle ride. It's a little more rocking than you get with the main, but it's what it is. Move it. 112 miles yesterday. That's the best one so far. It from the very beginning, the whole time it was blowing hard. It never let up once. And then it got really gusty at night. And we're just each morning it's elevated. But that'll come to an end here in the next couple days. I think I'm probably gonna peek out tonight. So that's what it is for today. Storm jib. Sweet. There she was. Oh yeah, it came out great. Got that caramel in there and everything. Oh, nice. Yeah, dinner. Hey, here we are on day 24. The weather has been kind of deteriorating over the last couple days. What was looking like it was going to be calm later on is filled into more like this. We're about 20 knots, 19, 20 knots of wind. I just got the storm, I just keep reducing. I'm down to the storm jib now. And it's pulling me on good. Getting about 3.5 knots of speed out of this, which isn't bad, but I don't know. Maybe I should put a bigger one up. 70% jib is as big as the mainsail. This might not be enough power. Pretty rock and roll here. Let it sit for a little bit, see how it goes. It probably through the night really good. Waves are getting pretty big today. This is about the time when they get like this though. And then all of a sudden they'll just go down for the evening. It's weird. Even though the wind doesn't really go down. You got me. It was a pretty calm day overall. It's just starting to pick up now. Hey, so sitting here on my infrared heating pad. My back is tender today. It's been really good the last several days. This morning it was not so good, and so I'm just babying it today. And I got the storm jib is set. This is my I just put that onto the ceiling there and just watch my direction. Kind of keep an eye on things. But I'm doing 4.5, 5, 6 knots with my storm jib. It's blowing pretty good. Sea state's starting to come down, but it was pretty good for a while. Small craft advisory for the last 7 days. Working in about 20 knots of wind right now. Got the third reef on the mainsail and the storm jib on. And I'm doing 5.5 knots average right now. Just kicking it. Hardly any blue sky this trip for me. The last 3 weeks it's been like this the whole time. But I think the wind is, you know, 20 knots is pretty typical out here. So at least I've got a good wind picture. If it holds up, I should be in about a week to 10 days. So here's the water maker. There's an intake that goes out to the. I keep the salt water in a 5-gallon bucket, and then I do a gallon at a time because it discharges the salt, keeps the fresh, discharges the salt, and it'll get more salinity obviously as you go. Probably make it a lot harder. But I do a gallon at a time, and it works fine. And there's the little hose going in there, and I pump for an hour, and it does 5 quarts. And I've been doing that since about day 6. We went through about 5 days of 20 knot winds, and today's the first day it's going to start backing off by about a knot a day for a couple days. It'll get down to about 16 knots here, and that's what the forecast says. We'll see as it goes along. But it's true to what it says so far. It's definitely not as strong today. It's really nice actually, and I'm making really good time too. I think I'm not sure, but I was on 5 knots an hour for the longest time. But this is not the typical for what I've been in the last several days. There's a lot more white caps out there for the last several days. So I'm relieved to move into some a little bit lesser motion. My back hurts right now. Here we go, evening, day 26. Just the lumpy gooey right here, man. The wind is abated, and it's going to come down by about 3 knots from about 4 knots actually, from 19, 20 down to the 15 area overnight. That's nice. It'll be a little bit calmer action. I'll still be able to keep good speed. So yeah, man. Normally it doesn't waver much, but this is El Nino and everything. But that's the cool thing about it. It's El Nino, but this part is still the same for a little while, and it looks like I'm gonna make it in before any changes occur. Yeah, as I've been going, there's a big wind hole behind me, like catching up, but I outran it. Stayed in this, and it hasn't been bad. I'm still in my 3rd reef in my storm jib, doing 5 knots all day long. So it's and it's slowing down a little bit though. So it's going to calm down into the evening. It'll get really nice. It'll be a nice night's sleep. I haven't seen anything on my AIS for a week. It goes 50 miles out, nothing. Yeah, man. Tonight's dinner is going to be corn, Madras lentils, and mashed potatoes. And I'm doing mashed potatoes instead of rice because that's all you have to do is just get it to boil, put in the milk, put in the potato flakes, and you're done using the stove. And on a rocky day, that's the best. And then I'll put those in a bowl. I'll heat this, and I won't even heat I'll just put the corn in at the end in another little pile. Yeah. No, I'll probably heat it up. Yeah, heat it up. And then put it through the thing, colander. So that's dinner tonight, man. Look at that. I've got coffee everywhere. I mean, everywhere. It's always pollution. I made a pumpkin bread, and I put it in the skillet, and I put it in the oven, and I didn't put anything to keep the door closed. And of course, it rolled, it fell out, and all the batter went on the floor. I scooped it up, put it in there, and ate the whole thing. What do you do? There she blows. That was really fast. Super easy to make. Good and nutritious, man. That's vegan there. So, hope you enjoyed that, guys. That was some really awesome sailing. I think that was really the highlight of the trip. From here out, it actually gets pretty challenging to get into Hawaii because of the what the land does to the water and the weather and everything that far out. My website is just about together. I've got 8 audiobooks on the way for you guys that are interested in listening to my sea stories. And by the next episode, that will be running. But I want to kind of keep the episodes going, so rather than wait for that to be all the way together and you be able to subscribe or buy an audiobook, I want to make sure and get it put together. So stay in touch. My link is going to show up down at the bottom of these things pretty quick. Take it easy, guys. Shaka.